black people, I believe you are being effectively replaced in the United States of America, and your votes too. This is Sahedi, Nigeria, and here's my perspective. So, welcome to my channel. I really appreciate the gesture over time and the engagement over time, and also the opportunity to also, talk to people of like minds across the world. Really, this is something I truly appreciate. So, why do I say that I'm talking to black people? Really, the blacks in America, basically African Americans. Why do I say that? It is obvious that over time, over the years, um, certain things, if you look into the population, you look into the voting patterns of blacks in America, you will discover that their choice and decision to just base their voting and also the type of policies that they follow on one single direction. Basically, that's for the Democrats. They vote fully for the Democrats. Because of doing that over the years, it has really affected the black community. And one thing that I believe the blacks should definitely realize at this point in time is that they are being replaced, and the replacement is very effective and has been effective over time. We will talk a bit of numbers here and there, and probably we'll see a bit of snapshots of some of those numbers because what I'm trying to talk about now is something I paid attention to some times back, and I studied the whole thing. I looked at it and I was like, okay, come to think of it, these blacks in America fully probably do not even realize that they are being replaced. They still seem, because the left fully and the liberals are playing on their minds, trying to make them feel, oh, you guys are in control of things in America now, or they are pushing them and propping them up in different places in different areas, trying to make them support policies so that the Democratic Party can continue to be in charge. These blacks did not know that they are being replaced. For example, I looked at a bit of numbers. Yes, maybe I'm just a simple engineer. You may say I'm not an expert in these things or in history, but these numbers are probably even available for you to research online. Okay, for example, why I said they are being replaced is that the blacks used to be the darlings of the Democratic Party way back. They used to be the darlings of the Democratic Party, especially from the 50s and 50s, 60s down, from 50s, 60s downwards. They used to be the darlings. But now, because of this open border thing, and not just the open border things that we are talking about recently, over the years, you see that the Latinos, Hispanic numbers have kind of skyrocketed. It's not a simple jump. It's a skyrocket. It came in a skyrocketing nature. For example, the current population numbers, for example, have about 59.6% of whites currently, and that's because even the white people were not really giving birth to much children over time, which affected their numbers. Because in 1980 America was 80% white country, 80% white in 1980, as of 1980. But today, as of 2021, it's a 59.6% white country. Now, you look at the Latinos, the black numbers, the population of the blacks in 1980, it was 11.5%. 11.5% in 1980. But in 2021, the 2021 census numbers that I saw, it was 12.6%. 12.6%. Now, The white number has dropped. Now it can drop because the population increased across board, really. So we may not necessarily say only because they are not giving birth to. So the percentage that the white with which the white number has dropped is quite high. Quite high, and I think you guys really need to pay attention to that in growing back the numbers, and legitimately I mean. So but anyway, so the black numbers in 1980 was 11.5%, but in 2021 it is 12.6%. Now we can also say 40 million people in today, 40 million people as of today, or as of 2021, 40 million people. Way back then, I mean, in 1980, I think they were just about 26 million, thereabout. Now, if you look at the numbers, and remember, like I said the numbers grew across board. But let me continue. Now you go to the Hispanics. You go to the Hispanics. The Hispanics in 1980, the numbers of the Hispanics in 1980 is 6.5% of the population of the US. 6.5%. 6.5% in 1980. In 2021, the number of Hispanics, percentage of Hispanics in the population of the US is 18.9%. From 6.5 to 18.9%. That's a massive jump in numbers. They are over 60 million. Over 60 million. Obviously, what am I even talking about? Over 80 million, close to about 80 million in the United States as of now. I will have to quickly look that up again later if I can remember the number very.
Yes. Cuidado, ayuden a los niños. Mis amigos aquí en Irapuato, Guanajuato. Acaba de pasar el tren bolichero. Gracias a Dios paró.
But look at it, at the percentage growth alone. The percentage growth alone, the Hispanics jumped from 6.5% to 18.9%. To 18.9%. That's a whole 12% jump. But the growth of the blacks is merely from 11.5% to 12.6%. Okay, now we can now go into the issues about somebody who is black can say probably maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But let's look at it. Let me play the whatever advocate, like they say. Like they say that they play the devil advocate. Let me just look at it this way. Somebody can now say, oh, the reason why the black numbers did not grow, it is because of eugenics. Because of eugenics. And the eugenics, because they will put, this is it, because the biggest thing that kind of reduces and kills blacks the more in the United States, for example, according to the numbers that the official numbers that you have around, it is really what you call abortion. So you put Planned Parenthood, whatever, Planned Parenthood centers in inner cities or near inner cities in those places. Now you can say eugenics is causing the numbers to reduce. But the aspect that I am looking at this whole thing is it's because the black community supports a party. Effectively, they support a party, the Democratic Party, over the years, who fully supports this eugenics, who fully will push the story about, oh, the rights of women. Women have the rights over their bodies. They can have an abortion on demand or anytime they like. And they will encourage the black community to also do that you don't have to give birth to these children. They just do those odd things. And by the time these blacks follow the Democratic Party and support these policies, you are merely, it's just like a man trying to shoot himself in the foot. Because you support the policies that the Democratic Party supports, the left support. The left will tell you. The left will tell you that they are fully in support of Planned Parenthood, fully in support of it. And when the left and the Democratic Party supports that, you blacks also jump on the trail of the Democratic Party. So if your numbers is reducing because of these things, you cannot really blame the white man. You can't blame the white man. Yes, Margaret Sanger, all those people who brought up the Planned Parenthood something, all of them are eugenics, are devilish, if I can put it that way. But yes, the more that they are eugenics and they are racist and whatever, there should be a personal responsibility among the black communities or the black community leaders to say, look, you can't put this thing near the inner cities anymore because you are doing way more abortion. 40 million black babies have been aborted according to the numbers, to the official numbers that you have out there. 40 million, as of 2021, 40 million. 40 million black babies aborted. Imagine if those 40 million, let's even say 20 million of them, were born, were able to grow up, irrespective of the vagaries of life and what have you, and you are able to get 15 million of them alive, add them to this number that you have, or obviously you have generations that will come down from them, people that will come down from them. That is obviously, if you can give this to the expert to do your calculation, but conservatively you can merely do a calculation of saying that 20%, say that at least 25 million people could have come from those 40 million people down a generation. So the numbers that you have today, who will probably vote, for example, in the United States, if you already have a 40 million number now, if the blacks already have a 40 million number now, that means the numbers that you probably be having is probably around 65, 67, or 80 million thereabout. Probably. I'm not an expert in these things, but try to understand what I'm trying to say here. But because you blacks fully support the Democratic Party policies, you can't expect them not to unalive some of you guys, if I can put it that way. You can't expect it. So when I said that the blacks are being effectively replaced, the black vote, is being effectively replaced. It is being effectively replaced because the Latinos are becoming the darlings of the Democratic Party. The Latinos are becoming the darlings of the Democratic Party. They have a number that you can shift. It's just that the Latinos are usually, you have a lot of conservative people among them, so maybe they are not easy to control as the blacks, because the blacks obviously have shown over time that they are slightly emotive. Because they are emotive, they can easily be controlled, and using tokenism on them and what have you really affect them. You will just bring in your stars, your musicians, the hip hop, whatever, and the sports stars, and all of a sudden maybe a whole percentage of about 90% of the black, the voting public, the voting numbers among the blacks will just go towards the direction of the Democratic candidate, so to speak. Because they know that you are emotive, they throw in tokens from they bring in these your sports stars or hip hop music stars to just get you to jump on their trail. And at the end of the day, you did not know that you supporting the policies of the Democratic Party is what is also unaliving a whole generation out of you, causing your numbers to drop over time and causing your numbers to drop over the years. And you guys seem not to be paying attention. You guys seem not to be paying attention to these things. And it's a dangerous thing and a dangerous game probably that you guys have been playing over time. And you need to free yourself from that mindset of saying you will only vote for the Democratic Party. I'm not just particularly saying you have to vote for the Republicans or whatever. But the thing is, I always come from a common sense point of view, like I used to say, common sense. I could be conservative in my outlook. Now, the main thing is that if you look at the fact that if you are conservative in your mindset, you will grow better. And these Democratic parties won't be able to hold you down like they are at the moment. So you guys are being effectively replaced. And like I said, in 1980, 11.5%. In 2021, you are still 12% of the population. Hispanics in 1980, 6.5%. In 2021, they are 18.9%. That's 19% of the population. They are the darlings. They are the new darlings of the Democratic Party. They are the new darlings. What are you going to do? So, instead of merely supporting the Democratic Party and these odd policies that is unaliving a whole generation among you, you understand what I mean by that when I say unaliving? A whole generation among you, you must now support policies that will cause you to also grow economically as well. And to tell you the truth, the Democratic Party are not going to make you grow. They are not. They just want to keep you under wraps and just control you. This is Sahid, a Nigerian, even observing this from outside and speaking this out and saying this. I believe from a common sense point of view, you will probably understand what I'm saying. The Hispanics are now the darlings. The white community still have good numbers. Still have a good number, irrespective to still do whatever they are. Though even if there's a disparity in their numbers, those ones could still go, they can still grow their numbers or still keep their numbers to an extent. Especially the American because of the conservative movements and what have you, they can still keep their numbers. But the black communities, because you are supporting policies from the Democratic Party, which also destroy your numbers over time, you need to change this. So when I said you are being effectively replaced, yes, your votes, you are being effectively replaced. Soon enough, you may not be the darlings anymore. You will just be a third community they will just reach out to. You may not be the darlings anymore. And probably maybe that's not a cool thing to experience, and that's not a cool thing to say. Maybe because I'm saying this now, it may seem harsh, and I know some black guys will get on my case and say, no, you don't understand the system here, you don't understand the institutional racism. That's what they throw about all the time. No, you are not in this environment to understand it. Oh, well, no, I do understand it. But anyway, maybe you guys can just do a rethink and not support the destructive policies of the Democratic Party and probably find another source that you can, another side that you can shift to. Anyway, this is Sahid in Nigeria. And that's my perspective.